The annual inflation rate in the United States is currently around 7.5%, the highest it's been since 1982. It doesn't matter if you're a cashier, a lawyer, a plumber, or a retiree. If you spend US dollars, inflation impacts you. And unfortunately, economists expect the effects of inflation, like the higher cost of goods, to continue for the foreseeable future. So where's a good place to invest your money to protect or hedge against the impacts of inflation? Luckily, an investment in real estate can ease some of those financial strains, and we're going to talk about the top 3 real estate investments that anyone can do, including you. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Chuck Jackson, a Florida realtor, and I'm here at Lake Lily, one of the beautiful parks here in the city of Maitland. I help folks like you buy and sell homes in the Orlando and surrounding Central Florida area. There's a lot of talk about inflation these days, and you may be asking yourself, what is inflation and how does it impact me? Well, inflation is a decline in the value of money. When the rate of inflation rises, prices for goods and services go up. Therefore, a dollar buys you a little bit less with every passing day. The Consumer Price Index, or CPI, is a standard measurement of inflation. Based on the latest CPI data, prices increased 7.5% from January 2021 to January 2022. A little bit of inflation is considered healthy for the economy, but 7.5% in a single year is high. So how does inflation affect your life, and what does real estate have to do with it? First, here are a few of the negative impacts in inflation. We touched on this already, but as prices rise, your dollar won't stretch as far as it used to. That means you'll be able to purchase fewer goods and services with a limited budget. In an effort to curb inflation, the Federal Reserve is expected to raise the federal funds rate. Therefore, consumers like you are likely to pay a higher interest rate on new mortgages, car loans, and variable interest credit cards. Wage growth tends to lag behind price increases. According to the Moody Analytics, when adjusted for inflation, the average weekly earnings were down 3.1%. As such, life becomes less affordable for everyone. Inflation can force those on a fixed income, like retirees, to make lifestyle changes and prioritize essentials. If you store all of your savings in a bank account, inflation is even more damaging. As of February 2022, the national average interest rate for a savings account is 0.06%. Not nearly enough to keep up with inflation. And economists don't expect that rate to go much higher. One of the best ways to mitigate these effects is to find a place to invest your money other than the bank. So, where is a good place to invest your money to protect or hedge against the impacts of inflation? There are several investment vehicles that financial advisors traditionally recommend, including some people invest in stocks as their primary hedge. However, the stock market can become volatile during inflationary times, as we've seen in recent months. Commodities are tangible assets like oil and livestock and minerals. The theory is that the price of commodities should climb alongside inflation. But the classic choice, gold, hasn't risen consistently during periods of inflation since the 1970s, according to data from Morningstar Direct. So you can't always count on commodities. Treasury inflated protected securities, or TIPS, are U.S. government issued bonds that are indexed to the inflation rate. Bonds are considered low risk, but the returns they offer are generally low as well. Real estate prices across the board tend to rise along with inflation and often rise faster than inflation. That's one of the reasons demand for real estate is soaring right now. Out of these four, we believe real estate is the best hedge against inflation. Owning real estate does more than protect your wealth. It can actually make you money. For example, home prices rose nearly 17% from 2020 to 2021. That's 10% ahead of the 7% inflation that occurred at the same time frame. Plus, certain types of real estate investments can help you generate a stream of passive income. In the past year, property owners didn't just avoid the erosion of purchasing power caused by inflation, they got ahead. Though there are myriad ways to invest in real estate, there are three basic investment types that we're going to recommend for beginner and intermediate investors. Remember that we can help you determine which options are best for your financial goals and budget. If you own your own home, you're already ahead. The advantage of home ownership becomes even more apparent in an inflationary time. As inflation raises prices throughout the economy, the value of your home is likely to go up concurrently. At the same time, you've locked in the set mortgage payment for the next 30 years, so you'll be immune from rising rental costs. If you don't already own a primary residence, home ownership is a worthwhile goal to pursue. Though the task of saving enough for a down payment may seem daunting, there are several strategies that can make home ownership easier to achieve. If you're not sure how to get started with the home buying process, contact me. Our team can help you find a strategy and property that fits your needs and your budget. Now, whether you already own a primary property or primary home, or you're still renting, now is still a good time to also start thinking about investment properties. The types of investment properties you'll buy as a solo investor generally fall into two categories: long-term rentals and short-term rentals. A long-term rental, or traditional rental, is a dwelling that is leased out for an extended period of time. An example of this is a single-family home where the tenant signs a one-year lease and brings all their own furniture. Long-term rentals are a form of housing. For most tenants, the rental serves as their primary residence, which means it's a necessary expense. This unique quality of long-term rentals can help to provide stable returns in uncertain times, especially when we have high inflation. To invest in a long-term rental, you'll need to budget for maintenance, repairs, property taxes, and insurance. You'll also need to have a plan for managing the property. But a well-chosen investment property should pay for itself through rental income, and you'll benefit from the appreciation as the property rises in value. Short-term or vacation rentals function more like hotels in that they offer temporary accommodations. A short-term rental is defined as a residential dwelling that is rented for 30 days or less. The furniture and other amenities are provided by the property owner, and today many term rentals are listed on websites like Airbnb. A short-term rental can potentially earn you a higher return than a long-term rental, but this comes with the cost of daily hands-on management. With a short-term rental, you are not just entering the real estate business, but you're also entering the hospitality business. Done right, short-term rentals can be both a hedge against inflation and a profitable source of income. As a bonus, when the home isn't being rented, you have an affordable vacation spot for yourself and your family. Inflation is a fact of life in the U.S. economy. Luckily, you can prepare for inflation with a carefully managed investment portfolio that includes real estate. Owning a primary residence or investing in a short-term or long-term rental will help you both mitigate the effects of inflation and grow your net worth. This makes for a strategic move in our current financial environment. Are you ready to invest in real estate to build wealth and protect yourself from rising inflation? Feel free to reach out to me. I can help you find a primary resident or investment property that will meet your financial goals. Now that you've discovered how to hedge inflation with real estate, you may want to consider using a real estate lawyer to help you with your property acquisition. Watch my video, Should I Work with a Real Estate Attorney?, to discover how a real estate attorney can not only protect your property asset, but also from potential liability issues. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please click on the like button, consider subscribing to our channel. I publish videos frequently and you don't want to miss out. So until next time, be safe and have a great week.